Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the console Fragments! Hell yeah, man. I'm actually really quite excited for today. I don't know what we're going to be, seeing today, but I kind of hope we're going to get stuff, about Loa, about Yusuke, and obviously, the sort of future of Motherkind. Obviously, because she's made the decision of actually leaving Tomoe now, so I wonder, what the significance of that is going to be, and if we're going to get any stories that are related to that. Yeah, last time was actually really quite cool. We learned so much about, just the effects of, Yusuke's death, really. I really wonder what we're going to do today, actually. I don't really have much time, sadly, but yeah, I should be able to get quite a few fragments in, because, yeah, the fragments today, conveniently, are a little bit shorter, so, copy medicine. Some potential fraudulent stuff, I wonder? What's that? Fragment 22. Here we are. Ooh. Yep. When we see this place, it's all... Ooh. Okay. I am interested. What do you think? Oh. Now that's interesting. So Nomada is not only like a terrorist, but she's a doctor as well. Wow. That's just really contradictory. I apologise for resorting to flattery, but as a knowledgeable doctor in this field, I think this data can provide some valuable information for me. It's more than just valuable, this is a treasure map. It's wonderful, truly excellent. If it's Nomada, shit's bad. Seeing the composition and efficacy of the drug being described in the file, the man leaned forward like he couldn't contain his excitement while carefully pursuing the clinical data, perusing the clinical data. Are there? The table in front of them was piled high with a feast fit for a king, but he kept it in the corner of his view like he didn't notice it at all when losing his tie while relaxing his collar. That's really quite funny. Shit's real if you have a feast right in front of you and yet you don't even feel tempted whatsoever just because of, how cool whatever's occupying your attention is.
ニューロン、神経細胞やその感激のシナプス回路にて伝達される電気信号の制御操作は脳神経の分野において悲願とも言えるものだった。
Neurons, sending controlled electric signals through nerve cells in the gaps in synaptic circuits was a long-cherished wish of cranial nervous system researchers.
故にそれを可能にできる物質を発見すれば、間違いなくその研究者はノーベル賞すら手中に収めることができるだろう。
So if researchers can discover a substance that makes that possible, they'll surely be running in for a Nobel Prize. Watanabe-kun. Watanabe? I swear that name's familiar.
これは本当に確かなデータなのかね?
Are you really, truly confident in this data?
それにつきましては、アルファベットプロジェクト内の C スタッフ責任者になり変わって保証させていただきます。
Right. Wait, now hang on a second. Watanabe's Nomada's surname. Yeah, it wouldn't be the other way around. It can't be. So I really wonder if this could potentially have some sort of... Could you imagine if Nomada is actually the person that runs Lowell? Or has some sort of say in the running of it? Chiba. I swear that name's familiar. Hang on a second, is Chiba the person that... Wait, I need to see something real quick. Is Chiba the person that was, elected to be the next head of, thingy? Health and Welfare Minister. Should be in like part 3 of Higurashi, maybe? Not part 4? Part 2 if it's not part 4. Yeah. It is Chiba! Yeah, I thought that name was familiar. Now that is interesting. So, yeah, obviously Chiba was the person that, he's the Minister of Health and Welfare, so he could potentially be corrupt. I don't know if this is, genuine or if it's not, but Nomada's here. You really think it's going to be genuine when she's there? Yeah, that's interesting. interesting that, you know, the Alphabet Project has its associations in this. On behalf of the C staff of the Alphabet Project, I can guarantee it.
事実、先日にはもはや治療は不可能かと思われてきた患者が
That is weird.
この試験薬の投与によって正常な意識を取り戻しました。
In fact, a treatment, God, I cannot talk. In fact, the patient who was thought to be untreatable regained normal consciousness after being administered this drug just the other day. That's ridiculous. So, I mean, obviously because we know what Nomida's actually done, and she has done some of the most evil, you know, terrorist-like things. You know, she's got Takano to do them, and then obviously has, you know, benefited from all of that. But yeah. It's really quite unbelievable to think that, you know, obviously she is I'd assume the, you know, C in the Alphabet Project's representative. Because I don't know.
それどころか、一応定期的な投薬が必須となっておりますが、
It's just so surprising that these people are making medicine that helps
通常の
people.
生活を問題なく送っております。
Although daily medication will be necessary for the time being, but the patient was already discharged from the hospital and has resumed living a normal life without any problem. Oh, what?
いや、素晴らしい話だよ。
Yeah, well, that's amazing.
まさかこの放射性物質にそれだけの効果があったとは全くもって
So
驚
this
きだ。
substance is radioactive. What? It's hard to believe that this radioactive substance could have such an
私の
effect.
目から鱗が落ちる思いだよ。
Feels like my eyes have been opened.
先
Fair
生の
enough,
ご
yeah.
見識もさすがです。
Oh, as expected of your insight, Sensei. Interesting, so he's definitely of somebody of high status if even Nomada is calling him Sensei.
創生式をお読みになられただけで、この薬の特殊性がご理解いただけるのですから。
Yeah, you're able to understand the peculiarities of this medicine based on nothing but its composition.
理事会の巧妙な先生方も、先生にはとてもかないませんわ。
Even the renowned doctors on the board of directors don't live up to you.
これでも私は医学部の出身でね。
Even I went to medical school.
将来は官僚か医者か随分悩んで迷ったものだよ。
I was deeply concerned about if my future should be as a bureaucrat or a
もっとも
physician.
今になって思えば何を悩む必要があったのやら。
Yeah, what are the risks, I wonder? I mean, obviously it's radioactive, that's instant ionization of cells, mutations of cells, cancer, stuff like that. Potential death of cells if it's, you know, really ionizing one. If it's a really ionizing form of radiation, but I think that's unlikely. I mean, why the fuck would they put stuff like, I don't know, really strong beta radiation in a patient? Like, that's just ridiculous. The man at our side and then drank his beer all at once to quench his thirst. Oh god, yeah. I've heard that whenever you actually get really drunk, I mean, you get so drunk that you sort of feel there's no drinks and yet you feel really quite thirsty, so alcohol's the only thing to quench your thirst, so as a result, that's the only thing you drink. Yeah, immediately afterwards, the woman sitting across from him tilted the bottle to refill his empty glass. Interesting that. I really wonder if Nomina's potentially trying to get him as drunk as possible. And, you know, obviously, the people that are in
正
cahoots
直
with
に
her.
言ってこれまで私はひなみ沢症候群という風土病についてはあまり興
Hang
味
on a
がな
second,
かった
what?
んだよ。
The medicine for Hinamizawa syndrome is radioactive. What? To be honest, I was never really interested in this endemic disease called Hinamizawa syndrome until now.
核はともかく生化学についてはぜひとも研究を進めたいものが他にも山ほどある。
Aside from nukes, there are plenty of other topics in biochemistry that I'd like to pursue.
それなのに小さな村に起きた特殊な風土病に予算を割り当てるのは無駄遣いだとな。
Oh, so I thought it was a waste to allocate money towards some more rare endemic disease from a small village. Now that's actually really quite interesting because, you know, obviously Takano Tomitake, they had so much struggle for, you know, actually getting the funding from Tokyo, and it was only, I mean, to be honest, the funding was never really happening. It was just so that, you know, they just wanted to test how far they could go with it, and then obviously when they've actually built something, just, you know, take it down and gain from it, really.
実際脳に入り込んだ寄生体が人の意志や精神を乗っ取っていたなんて話は出来の悪い SF の類。医学的には論ずるに足りんことだ。
Yeah, in fact, the story about a parasite entering a subject's brain and altering their behaviour and will sounds like something from bad sci-fi medically. It's not even worth
そう
discussing.
思わんかね。
Don't you think? Yeah, that is fair enough. But at the same time, they have actually found evidence of, you know, parasite-related things. I still remember that to me Oroboshi stuff, the IBE stuff being, you know, that being higher in...
先生のおっしゃる通りです。
Yeah, it's just as you say, Sensei. Interesting. So I really wonder why, you know, obviously they're interested in the endemic disease, but at the same time they think, like, the current theories that, you know, are behind it are completely ridiculous. I mean, fair enough, yeah. This is the real world. It's not, as he said, a bad sci-fi.
実際小泉先生の多大なご功績には尊敬の念を禁じ得ませんが、あの高野とかいう女研究者に何らかの弱みでも握られているのではと邪推したくなるほどのひいきぶりでした。
In fact, I admire Dr. Koizumi's many great achievements, but it's such a pity that he had a weakness for that female creature, Takano, and wanted to push her forward. Yeah, that's actually interesting that she says that because obviously Koizumi, I mean, yeah, of course he would have though. I mean, he knew Hikumi, so as a result, I think it's very, very easy to deduce that, you know, he knew of her childhood. Let's just say.
予算を仕切って管理を行うはずの我々の力が及ばず。
On that point, I'm very sorry for our shortcomings in that department, even though we're the ones who control the budget. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting that, you know, Koizumi, real motivation for, you know, him actually providing the funding was just because of Takano. You know, him feeling bad for Takano. Yeah, it's just really quite interesting with Nomura. That female researcher, Takano, is how she refers to her now, but at the same time, like, you know, afterwards, this is the person that she has manipulated so fucking much. You know, so much so that she's become more than a terrorist. A fucking mental terrorist. She's not only a terrorist, she's fucking mad as well.
いやいや、あの小泉王に逆らうのはなかなかもって大変なことだ。君たちのせいだとは思っておらんよ。だがこの試験薬に汎用性があるというのはひょうたんから駒というやつだな。
The versatility of this drug is an unexpected boom that came from it.
実に運がいい。
Such good fortune.
新発見とは無駄な研究から生まれ出ることが多いというが、まさにその通りだ。
Interesting. Yeah, I find it really quite interesting that even though, I mean, yeah, when they're looking at the bigger picture, of course, you know, just a disease that only affects one village is, you know, small enough. But at the same time, though, like, you have people like EDA that really, really care about the people in the village. I mean, even though it is just one person, and, you know, obviously the friends of that one person that he cares about, still, I mean, most two people, you know, Satoko, Satoshi, people like that. New discoveries often do come from useless research. That's completely true. Yeah, I find it interesting that they find it useless.
ぜひ今後もこの試験薬のデータ収集に努めてくれたまえ。
By all means, please do your best to continue collecting data on this drug.
ありがとうございます。そう言ってくださると、私どもも実行に踏み切った甲斐がありました。
Hearing you say that makes it worth the effort. The woman smiled and bowed down while receiving the 2 files full of material. Yeah, and I find it really quite interesting this is of Hinamizawa syndrome. I thought this was going to be some sort of Lowell shit, but yeah, it was the data compiled by the Irie Kyosuke of a clinical trial with the C103 Hinamizawa syndrome remediation drug being administered to a patient with chronic mental illness. Yeah, that's interesting, but that was with Satoko. Yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
どうも日本では脳神経などの精神医学に対して偏見が深くてな。
Apparently in Japan there is a deep prejudice against psychiatry of the cranial nervous system.
その病の兆候を感じても心や性格の弱さを先に論じて治療を怠ったり、また患者を隔離するなど粗略に扱ったりする傾向がある。
Even when signs of illness are apparent, they neglect to discuss the treatment of the weakness in the mind and personality. There is also a tendency to isolate the patient or treat them coldly. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
嘆かわしい話だ。
It's a sad story.
先進国の基準に達した今こそ、そういった文明病の解明とケアが必要だというのに。
Oh yeah, definitely. Though we've received the standards of developed countries, these diseases incidental to civilization still require a lot of care and study. Oh yeah, definitely, they are serious.
おっしゃる通りです。
It's just as you say.
文明が発達した社会はあらゆる情報や知識で複雑になり、人々の精神への負担はこれからさらに増大していくでしょう。
Yeah, if anything, you're going to have more people that have, just an overall burden. I mean, for example, school-related things, and obviously, I suppose the effects of criminals getting worse and worse, and, the more advanced the country, the more advanced the criminals sometimes. So, yeah, could potentially be. I mean, it doesn't really apply with all countries, but I'd assume, obviously, there'll be more resources, so there'll be more opportunity for crime, so there'll be more people affected by that, and then obviously there'll be more people able to study, so as a result, more people stressed out with school-related things. What is remediation? Oh my fucking god, I hate it whenever you... the act of remedying something in particular, stopping or reversing environmental damage. That's actually really quite interesting. So from this, he's saying they'll treat the illness, but they won't really care about the whole mental things that obviously would have affected a patient due to this.
ですが、カウンセリングなどの診療では長い治療期間と医師の高いスキルが求められ、患者やその家族への金銭面などの負担もバカにはなりません。
However, counselling and psychotherapy require lengthy treatment periods from highly skilled doctors, and it imposes an absurd financial burden on the patients and their families. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's actually really quite interesting though. I'm sure that, for example, EDA is actually, the person that actually funds Rika and Satoko's, living with the Kimiyoshi, in the Kimiyoshi household. I mean, their entire expenses are paid from them, so I suppose it is really quite the opposite. They're literally getting paid for them to, research and test stuff on them. They do though, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
ですから、投薬などの物質的な治療への道が可能となれば、医師と患者双方にとって良い改善策となり得るはず。
Yeah, that is actually fair enough though. It makes life so much easier for, especially doctors. But at the same time, medical treatment isn't the same as... I mean, you can have medical treatment and you can have, just all of your, for example, mental troubles completely stopped. But at the same time, what about when you don't have the drug and, the pharmaceutical related things? That, all of your worries are just going to come back. It's much better just to receive treatment, even though it is more labour intensive and obviously time consuming as well.
それを期待されて海外から参入したのがかのローエル製薬だったのですが、
I'd expected it to come from that overseas pharmaceutical company Lowell, but...
その意味でローエル社から製造販売されていたプラシルアルファは精神疾患の治療に常々悩まされていた医師たちの手助けとなる特効薬になると私も期待していたのだよ。
I too was expecting the Placer Alpha drug manufactured by Lowell Inc. to be the silver bullet that would allow doctors to treat patients suffering from chronic mental illness.
自己弁護になるかもしれんが、私なりに厄介な未来を考えての措置だった。
This may be self-vindication, but I saw it as the future of the medical world.
それが一部のマスコミどもの軽挙妄動によってバッシングの嵐にさらされて ひどい目
Thanks
に
to
あ
the
っ
terrible
た。
bashing it received from the mass media, everyone saw it in a terrible light. I mean, definitely, of course, it does deserve to have a terrible bashing because obviously there has been really dodgy funding related things, and obviously that, drug didn't even have, full and accurate medical records, and yet it was still passed on to, loads of health governments and stuff like that, and it had actually been accepted in the end. So, yeah. It's not surprising that it's seen in a bad light, but at the same time I find it really quite interesting that, they were intending for this drug to be like a really big cornerstone to the, world of mental illness related things. Hmm.
あのおかげで日本の精神医学の進歩は10年遅れたと言っても過言ではないだろう。
That's actually really quite interesting that they thought, this plus alpha drug was actually going to be the thing that could potentially have started, really advanced treatment into, mental illness related things. But no, it hasn't, obviously. Yeah. But it's no exaggeration to say that progress into Japanese psychiatry has been pushed back 10 years as a result.
ご苦労をお察しいたします。
Yeah, I appreciate your
先生
understanding.
のご同輩の大沼氏もそれで失脚なさいましたものね。
I appreciate your understanding. One of your colleagues, Onuma, even lost his position over it, correct?
良いライバルだった。
Yeah, he was a good rival.
奴が先に次長に昇格した時はその見識の高さから間違いなく事務次官、その後は正解に打って出るものと期待していたのだがな。
When he was appointed assistant director before me, I figured his high levels of insight would allow him to reach vice minister and then move on into the political world.
ああいう形になって本当に残念だよ。
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that things went down like that. Oh, so I wonder what's actually happened. Yeah, the man turned his head down and raised the glass to his mouth. Oh, so he didn't notice. Oh, that in that moment, the woman had an indescribable smile on her face. Now that's interesting. Yeah, so I think this position that, obviously, he's resigned from. Now, it is actually really quite stupid for Chiba to actually say that, even though, obviously, they do have a relationship. Yeah, I don't really think that's a good thing to be saying. I mean, could this technically be considered confidential, this stuff? I wonder. I don't know, I don't really think it would be. Definitely not a good thing to say, though, because Nomura has seen the light. Yeah, she's probably going to try and overtake that position, and she's obviously going to use everything gained from, Hinamizawa-related things to actually begin this. Yeah, it's really interesting, these people's connections, and I think these people definitely have been, pulling the strings, and just how Lowell did get that placid drug, distributed. Yeah, and I do find it really quite interesting. That's why the placid beta drug was made, because these people obviously wanted to have a drug that... I can't really tell if these people cared about if the drug was actually, one with side effects, though. Because he never really said anything. I mean, he said only, the good things about it. He didn't really say any of, the obvious flaws it has. So I don't know if he's actually, into it or not. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting, that.
Sensei.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, that's what I came here to discuss with you.
何かね。
医薬界の未来をご案じになられている先生を見込んで腹を割って申し上げます。
Yeah, and I find that really quite interesting. She's going to do whatever she's going to, you know, do in order to manipulate this person now, I'd assume. I don't know, though. It's definitely going to be something that involves, you know, her and her faction gaining power, though. I wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk with you about the future of the pharmaceutical world as you foresee it.
先日、私のもとにローウェル社のエージェントが接触してきまして、ぜひとも先生と一度ご会合の機会をいただきたいとの依頼を受けたまわりました。
I received contact from an agent of Lower Wing the other day asking for the opportunity to meet with you.
内容はかつてのプラシルの改良薬に関して。
Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely happened. Allegedly, they intend to discuss a refinement of the Plasol drug.
プラシルの改良薬
A refinement of Plasol?
どういうことかね。
Yeah, what are they getting at?
まさかまた国内で販売する仲介を取ってくれとでも言うつもりか。
No wait, do they expect me to act as an intermediary for domestic sales again? Wait, hang on a second, so intermediary... Is it like a middleman? Also a mediator. Yeah, so a person that acts as a link between people in order to try and bring out an agreement. Right, interesting. The man furrowed his brow with a displeased expression. Yeah, Placel's phytotoxicity problem was the beginning of the Lowell lawsuit and the subsequent scandal years ago. Interesting, so Lowell actually got a lawsuit for it. Oh yeah, definitely. They probably would have been completely threatened their whole... What's phytotoxicity? I've heard of phytomining, but I don't really think that's... Oh, interesting. Poisonous to plants. Right. Yeah, so I suppose phytomining is extracting copper from plants. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's something like you get bacteria to digest copper compounds and then you burn all of the plants that, you know, the bacteria have actually been in, and then you gain all the copper from that somehow. And then you obviously process it into pure copper that can be used for selling. Placel's phytotoxicity problem was the beginning of the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. So that was the beginning, right? Yeah, so the very name Placel was considered taboo in Japan nowadays. There was no way they'd be able to bring a drug called Placel to Japan for distribution under those circumstances, even if it was an improvement. Yeah, how the hell have they actually done it? Because obviously, I agree, they have actually been able to, you know, develop a new Placel drug. It's weird. And what's more, acting as a mediator for it would be opening himself up for suspicion. Yeah, interesting. I suppose definitely because of Placel Alpha having, you know, Placel Alpha having had some very dodgy, you know, history in terms of how it was actually brought into the whole, you know, scheme of things. Oh shit. In the worst case scenario, the suspicion could even cause him to lose his current position. Yeah, interesting. It's all about his position. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, this is serious. He did have some desire to contribute to the development of the pharmaceutical world. Oh yeah, definitely, if anything, he wants mental illness to be... interesting, yeah. Yeah, his position before anything else. But that was a topic to discuss after ensuring the safety of his position. The domestic economy was steadily growing, and though the ruling party wasn't particularly good or bad, they had gained the support of the public. He was a powerful man along the top 5 of the party. Damn. And had a promising future of becoming Prime Minister. Jesus Christ. That really is big. Nevertheless, he had no need to cross a perilous bridge to build up renown. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, fair. So, but it's actually quite interesting because he was the person, you know, Ministry of Health and Welfare, giving that presentation about placebo beta. Yeah. To be perfectly honest, ideals were only a means of embellishing himself. What mattered most was reality. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
いいえ、私がご相談したいのはそんな無意味なことではありません。
No, what I wish to discuss isn't something so meaningless.
先生、あなたは小泉先生のお立場にご自分がなってみたいと考えたことはございませんか?
Interesting. So I'm assuming Nomada's going to go where it hurts. You know, she's going to obviously try and get this advance. I really wonder what. No, I think it's all in the positions. I think, you know, she's going to try and get the Alphabet Project to replace the position of the guy that resigned. Or I think. I don't know. I can't remember what his name was. What?
製薬業はその産業の特殊性から食品や繊維などの経化学や製鉄、機械などの重化学、果ては軍事にまでその影響力を持つ分野です。
Due to the peculiarities of the pharmaceutical industry, they have access to lighter chemicals like food and textiles, but also heavier things like steelmaking supplies and machinery. It's a field that even has influence over the military. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
そのノウハウさえ発見できれば、低コストで大量に、しかも高低価格によって高利益が保証された商品のため、一攫千金がたやすい産業と言われております。
Yeah, moreover, medication can be manufactured in large volumes at low cost when the necessary know-how is discovered, and the product guarantees high profits at retail prices. So it's an industry where there's lots of easy money to be made. Yeah, interesting that.
戦前の日本におきましても、新興財閥を築き上げた大半の企業が金融を除けば製薬、製剤などの化学工業であった事実は歴史が証明しているところです。
Even in pre-war Japan, history has proven that aside from the financial sector, most of the emerging businesses have been in chemical industries like pharmacy and manufacturing. That is really quite surprising. I mean, my God, that just genuinely shows how many people have been able to obviously exploit pharmaceuticals, have been able to mass produce them really quite cheaply. I mean, God, it's just so surprising that that's some of the most popular forms of, you know, emerging businesses. Hmm.
しかし残念ながら戦後、日本国内では薬剤の認可を下す審査が非常に厳しくなり、新薬の開発にかかる期間と経費は膨大なものとなりました。
But unfortunately, Japan's approval process for new drugs has become extremely strict after the war, so the cost and time to develop new drugs has become enormous. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
だからといって他社の開発した薬のコピー、ゾロゾロ品を安価で売りさばいたところで儲けなどたかが知れている。
Nevertheless, copies of drugs developed by other companies, or generics you could call them, are known to make a profit when sold at a low price point.
ならば国内の認可など求めず、新薬を売りさばく道を探し出す。そういう発想の転換はいかがでしょうか。
Fucking hell, that's so unethical though. I mean, that could be so... First of all, that could be really, really dangerous to her, you know... Well, to anyone really that's actually, you know, under the name of the manufactured drug. And secondly, like, yeah, so what if we change our way of thinking and found a way to sell the new drugs without going through domestic approval process by doing something like that?
No.
What?
この C103 は試験薬のため、おそらく南沢症候群の研究とともに封印されるでしょう。
Now, I find it really quite interesting that Nomada is convinced that, you know, the research isn't going to last. But, yeah, of course it won't. And, yeah, we know that. But this C103 drug is exclusively a research item, and it will probably be sealed away once the study of Hinamizawa syndrome ends.
世に出そうと目論んだところで、認可を得るまでにさらに10年以上の時間が必要となる。その間に他国が新薬を開発して、時代遅れの産物となる可能性が高い。
Even though I'd like to get out in the world, it would take over 10 years through the approval process. Jesus, over 10 years though, that's so surprising. That's such a long time. What if it's a really quite, you know, life-threatening, I don't know, thing that the medicine could potentially be attacking? I mean, it's mental illness, and that's a really quite undiscovered field in the Japanese medical industry, so at this time I'd assume. So yeah, that's why it's taking so long. The urgency really isn't seen, and at that time there's a good chance that other countries will develop new drugs that render it obsolete.
先生もおっしゃいました通り、現時点では間違いなく
But just as you said, it is indeed a revolutionary new drug in this very moment.
そのために私たちは危険を冒してまで先生のためにこの C103 のノウハウを秘密裏に持ち出し、人道に反してまで臨床実験を重ねてまいりました。
For that reason, and for the doctors at risk, we've been secretly conducting human clinical trials in order to gain critical insight into
つまり君
C103.
はこの薬のデータをローウェル社に売れというのか？
In other words, you're telling me to sell the data for this drug to Lower Wing?
そうです。
Oh, yes.
もし入江機関がこの薬の効能を知って権利を日本国内の企業に売りつけたところで、先生が関与できるのは薬事審議会の口添えだけでしょう。
If the IDEA Institute learned the efficacy of this drug and sold the rights to some Japanese company, at best you'd be able to put in a good word at the Pharmaceutical Affairs Council.
そんなことで先生の懐に入り込む額などたかが知れたのに。
Interesting. I'm sure you know what little brother that will bring you. That's actually really quite funny though. So this C103 that was made for Hinamizawa syndrome has also been really quite beneficial in terms of, you know, finding out other medicine that could be dealt with. Yeah. It's just really quite funny to think that, you know, this medicine for, you know, primarily developed for Hinamizawa syndrome could potentially have some other uses and could cure other mental illnesses as well. Hmm.
ですが、ローウェル社が現在進めている改良型プラシルの研究にこのデータを提示すれば、彼らは以前の名誉挽回とばかりにこれらを高く買い取ろうとするでしょう。
Yeah, that's interesting. So they're obviously going to try and get as much as they can from this drug, yeah. But by offering this data to Lower Wing, they'd be willing to pay a much higher place in order to use it for their placebo research and recover their former honor.
もちろん、権利の所在は先生にありますから。売上ごとにマージンが追加されます。
Yeah, of course, you'd still own the rights, so you'd collect a margin on it.
薬の独占権が5年間だとしても、その間に入ってくる利益は数十億。いえ、ローエル社の世界的な企業であることを考慮すれば、その額は数百億にも達すると思われます。
So, no, considering that Lower is a global company, the income should even reach tens of billions. Fucking hell, how much money are they talking here? So 10 billion yen, 53 million quid. Fucking hell. Only have 5 million for 1 billion yen. That's ridiculous. That really is so much money. And it's probably going to be even more back then because, 1980s would have obviously had... I suppose the pound has actually gone up in value since the 1980s, and I don't know if the yen has gone up or down, but yeah, obviously the pound going up in value means that I'd assume there'd be like less yen for £1 in this day rather than in 1980. So you probably get like a little bit more if, let's just say I was reading this in 1980 and then I did exactly the same thing as I did. But also, I don't think that would be very possible, and secondly, yeah, that would take forever.
その富をバックにして財界と政界を牛耳り、以後何十年にもわたって先生が閣僚の顔ぶれを決定する。
With that wealth as a backing, you could take control of your business and politics. You'd have the power to appoint cabinet ministers for years to come.
どうです？
What do you say?
先生はそれだけの地位についてもおかしくない。我が国にとって貴重なお方だと私は思っております。
It wouldn't be so unusual for you to attain such a position. Personally, I think you a valuable person for this country. Yeah, interesting. She's definitely trying to favour, him as much as possible. But I find it really quite interesting that Nomada is only really talking about his benefit. So obviously, no way. I'm gonna second. I'm really not. Obviously, she's needing to say everything that would be good for Chiba if he actually did this. But yeah, the thing is, who's going to be collecting the data? Who's going to be selling the data? Who's going to be, the people that are actually doing everything? Nomada's lot. They're going to be the people that obviously are going to probably gain from this as well as him. I mean, everyone's going to gain though. That's the thing. But at the same time, I really wonder if, everything regarding the money that's actually going to come in thanks to this, I wonder if it's going to be fully ethical, because obviously, Nomada saying, even if it's only for 5 years, like, why would a drug only matter for 5 years? It could be because of competitors, but it also could be because of, potential flaws in the safety. So they're probably not even caring about the safety at this point. They're probably just thinking, if we can get money and research, then yeah, fine. Yeah. But at the same time, if Lowell do actually make something that is safe as a result of it, then yeah, of course they'll be able to do it. But I find it really quite interesting because I think it was definitely true that the whole really weird things happened with Lowell, and they're I suppose they're not fully safe medicine actually got approved just because of the money. It's gotta be. And that's really quite interesting though. I wonder if Lowell had like some sort of branch companies that took the entire ingredients of the drug and just completely copied them and mimicked them and made a huge profit out of that. But at the same time, I don't really think that's the case, because I think in the scandal they would have been mentioned, but we've never really seen anything about them. Seen? What the fuck? That is such a bad slip of the tongue. Saw anything about them. That was actually really quite interesting. So, yeah.
渡辺君、君はアルファベットプロジェクトの発足した当初の目的を知った上で私にそう言ってるのかね。研究会で発見されたノウハウを外国に売るなど明らかに背信行為ではないか。
Selling the knowledge obtained by our research groups overseas is a clear act of treason, isn't it?
確かに外国勢力に対抗するだけの次世代兵器を開発することが このプロジェクトの骨子ではありました。
It's true that the backbone of this project was to create a super weapon that could compete with major foreign
で
powers.
すが、現実にはどうです？
Oh, interesting. That's actually really quite surprising. I mean, obviously, this is a really risky move because she's trying to, just make him reiterate the entire purpose of this organization.
冷戦状態が継続しているとはいえ、戦争が外交手段の一つと居直られていた時代はすでに終わりました。
Even though the Cold War is still ongoing, the days of war being used as a diplomatic tool are long gone. Yeah, no, I find it really quite interesting. You can really just tell how little empathy these people have, obviously, in the pursuit of wealth. Like, yeah, they don't even think about war.
今後の国家間の力関係を決定するのは、政治力もさることながら、それを裏付ける経済力です。
It's not just political power, but also economic power that will determine the power dynamic between nations in the future.
核ミサイルをいくら持とうとも、それで恫喝して相手に言うことを聞かせるのはもはや時代遅れ。
God, this is 1980s as well. Yeah, no matter how many nuclear missiles you have, that won't convince people to do as you say. It's an outdated threat.
ならば、先生のような高潔の死に権力な座についていただいた上で、どのような形であれ、日本国内に外貨を流入させる方策を取ることこそ、真の愛国的行為ではありませんか？
God, you really, to be a politician like Nomada, you really need to be good at convincing people. Jesus Christ. She's so fucking articulate and she really, really knows what she's doing as well. I mean, it's just really quite funny. I swear she's prepared for this beforehand. Just, rehearsed every single excuse under the sun. Oh yeah, he's definitely debating it.
どうかよくお考えください。
Please think carefully about this.
私は先生のお人柄に惚れて、あなた様に絶対の忠誠を誓うものです。
Sensei, I've fallen in love with your good-natured personality and I pledge my absolute loyalty to you.
どうかそのことだけは心の片隅にでもおとどめ置かれましたら幸甚でございます。
I find it really quite interesting. It's all of the techniques. It's obviously all of the objective stuff and then, the emotional stuff along with it. I don't think this is true whatsoever. Yeah, I do not trust Nomada whatsoever. I would be ever so grateful if you could keep that fact tucked away in the corner of your heart. The woman called Watanabe was invited to the man's office just 2 days later. Oh, right, interesting. So he's actually made a decision and it looks like something is definitely going to happen as a result. Now, I wonder what's actually going to happen. I mean, it is really hard to tell, honestly. I think it's probably most likely that obviously this is going to get approved and they're going to make a shit ton of money from this. I don't know though, it's really quite hard to tell. Right, I need to just do stuff. Right, I'm back now. Okay, what's our next one? Ooh, beginning clinical trials. Right. So, fragment number 4. Right, I wonder what this is going to be.
どうですか、その後の具合は。
Ooh. well, have you been feeling better since then? Oh, hang on a second. Is this going to be the, the person with the new C103 drug that has, had mental illness completely cured? Well, have you been feeling better since then?
Hi.
What? You have got to be kidding me. Wait, hang on a second. So is this Plasil, the C103 drug, is it connected to Natsumi as well? What? You have got to be kidding me. Is this person that's been fully cured Natsumi? Oh my god, that's unbelievable. Thanks to you, I feel a lot better nowadays. Oh god.
頭痛がしたり、急に気分が悪くなったりすることはなくなりました。
I'm able to sleep well at night, and I no longer have those headaches when I walk outside or suddenly feel sick. Now that's interesting. I really wonder if. I really do wonder what is wrong with Natsumi, because obviously we've heard stuff about, the different sides of her brain not being able, one side of her brain being able to completely overthrow the other one, and obviously the stress of that causing, fainting related things. We've learnt about that, but yeah, I really wonder. I took a breath after answering the doctor sitting in front of me and savored the joy of it. Right. When an adult calls out to you, you look them in the eyes as you answer them. That's a perfectly normal gesture for ordinary people, but up until just a little while ago, I couldn't do it at all. Oh, yeah, interesting. I mean, I'm kind of jealous of that, but at the same time, that is just so weird, though. Seriously, if you have, like, a habit of, just not looking people in the eyes when you're talking to them whatsoever, and then you just suddenly can do it, that's so weird. That is wrong. That is genuinely wrong. Right now, I'm able to do it without any problems. That is so fucking weird. Even when the doctor is looking straight at me, my racing heart doesn't make me lose my breath, and the distance doesn't darken my vision. Yeah, that's interesting. So that obviously would have happened before, yeah. Jesus. That must have been really difficult to cope with. Even I've noticed the good results. Yeah, my heart has gotten significantly stronger since I started taking this prescription a few months ago. A few months ago? Fucking hell, she's been taking it for a long time. Thank you. Up until now, I never felt good no matter what treatment I received.
近頃はなんとなく景色が広くなったっていうか明るく見えるんです。
But thanks to this medicine, it feels like the world around me has gotten wider these days. It looks so bright. Yeah, so I think it is really quite good that the pharmaceuticals obviously have really had a great effect on her. But at the same time, I'm just scared like what this is going to lead to, No, because obviously it has led to complete dependence. I mean, we saw, like, after 1983 and, Tomodachi Kageboshi, we saw just the drug stopping, stopping sort of, I don't know, the drug not being sent to Natsumi's house, obviously, because it was impossible to remain manufactured. Yeah, because of that, we saw Natsumi completely crumble, so I wonder if this will lead to a dependence on these pharmaceuticals, and I'll be unable to live without them as well. It really is evil, stuff like that. I'm sorry for saying something weird. What I mean is, it's alright.
素直に感じたまま話してくれる方がこちらも状態を理解しやすくなりますから。
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It's easier for me to understand your condition when you speak your feelings honestly.
視界が広く明るくなったのはいい傾向です。
No, definitely. Yeah, having a wider and brighter worldview is a good
それだけ
inclination.
頭と心に余裕が出てきた証拠ですからね。
Yeah, fair. It's proof that you have room in your head and in your heart for more of the world. I myself was surprised by the sudden laughter coming out of my mouth. It's been such a long time since I let out a natural, spontaneous laugh. Jesus. Ooh, wonder what this is gonna be. Tears came spilling from my eyes after that laughter. Oh, God. Yeah, for such a long time I felt like I needed to live with this depression, and it drove me to a deep darkness and despair. Yeah, that's interesting, so I wonder... Yeah, no matter what I saw, said, or did, an unfathomable fatigue enveloped my whole body. At times I almost even lost the will to go on living. Yeah. God. That is so fucking weird. So she would have had, like, you know, tired whenever just trying to do anything of significance, just having a really, really bad tiredness that would just always follow it and, you know, make her impossible to do anything. And obviously that would cause depression, and then, yeah, that would lead to worse things. That really is brutal. But that painful heavy bag was finally fading from within me. It is so weird that it is so good that obviously everything has been, you know, completely benefited from her. I'm just kind of scared what the effects of it will be. Yeah, I couldn't see anything when I was in that deep darkness, but now I can finally see a small but sure light right in front of me. Yeah, and I do find it really quite interesting because this beforehand, you know, all of her issues, they were, you know, the people walking on me, I definitely saw the effects of them. Dr. I...
ほらほら、泣いてはいけませんよ。
Yeah, there's no need to cry.
あなたはこの2ヶ月、本当によく頑張りました。
That's good. Yeah, that's really quite good that, you know, she's just reminding her of how good she's actually been. You've been doing a really good job these past few months.
心が元気を取り戻せば、きっと元通りの生活に戻れます。
God, isn't it just horrible that, you know, for Natsumi, because of her brain being the way it is, living a normal life is, you know, something to look forward to. I mean, that's fucked. You've been doing a really good job these two past months. It literally says past 2 months, even. Once your heart is healed, I'm sure you'll be able to go back to living a normal life.
だから、笑顔になって、ね。
So go ahead and smile, alright?
あと少し、慌てず焦らず、ゆっくり一緒に頑張りましょう。
So go ahead and smile, alright? Just a little longer. There's no need to panic or rush, so let's slowly work through this together. Right. Oh god, yeah. No, it definitely looks like she's... Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I think she's just crying from happiness at this point. I mean, my god. Well, obviously happiness that, you know, her past is now... It's definitely ended, but at the same time, you know, crying with sadness about the fact that it actually happened in the first place. Yeah, that's interesting. So that unfathomable fatigue would have definitely led to her fainting. So I wonder if it was really ataxia or if it was something, you know, some other condition that she had. I think it's really quite nice that the psychiatrist is just, you know, ensuring that, you know, Natsumi really shouldn't feel as if she's alone or anything. After saying that, the doctor gently rubbed my back while I trembled from the sobbing. Yeah, it was warm and soft and a very gentle touch. Yeah, I'm glad, really, I'm so glad. I was anxious about it at first, but I decided to take the medicine she recommended for me. Interesting, so the psychiatrist was the one that recommended the medicine. Ooh, we're actually going to get some source in terms of the medicine.
Hi.
Yes.
例の中学生の患者さんですが、非常に素晴らしい回復ぶりです。
Please don't tell me this psychiatrist has, you know, some really sinister involvements. The middle school student has shown some excellent recovery.
血液検査の数値も通常値にかなり近づき、脈拍や発汗量も安定してきました。
That's really good though, yeah. Her blood test results are very close to normal and her heart rate and sweat rate have stabilized.
最初の頃は少し突っ込んだ問診をしただけで発作状態に陥っていたのですが、近頃は自分の思考内容をかなり正確に把握して、会話も整合性がはっきりと見られます。
That is insane. So, you know, seeing somebody potentially spasm in conversations to, you know, being able to look them in the eyes. I mean, fucking hell, I can't even do that. That's ridiculous. That really is. Things like these really just feel too natural to, you know, be true, but they are. Sorry, too supernatural to be true even. In the beginning, she was spasming after just a few short questions, but nowadays she's able to grasp her own thoughts fairly accurately, and the consistency is clearly visible in conversation with her.
若干感情の起伏の制御に苦しんでいるようですが、心理テストも極端な結果を出すことがなくなりましたし、現実中に日常生活へ復帰させてもほぼ問題はないかと。
Oh, that's really good. That is really good. She deserves it. And, you know, it's actually really quite interesting, you know, all of her friends and all of the people around her in school, they just suddenly saw such a exaggerated? No, such a prominent change in her. It still seems she somewhat struggles with controlling her emotional ups and downs, but the psychological tests are no longer showing extreme results. She probably won't have any problems returning to daily life in the near future.
いえいえ、私のカウンセリングは通常通りで特別なものは用いておりません。
Who is she talking to? Now, I find it really quite interesting that it's just completely blanked. Oh no, my counseling is completely ordinary. I didn't use anything special. Oh, that's interesting. So I really wonder if but hang on a second.
やはり先生にご紹介していただいた試薬が治療につながったのだと思います。
What is a reagent? Reagents? Is that medicine? Oh right, a substance or mixture for use in chemical analysis or other analysis. Interesting.
<sighs> それにしても今回の試薬を用いて臨床試験を行った患者は4人目になりますが、彼女を合わせて3人が社会復帰ともなれば十分な効能性です。
Even now, this is the fourth patient who have undergone clinical trials using this reagent. So, with the other two patients who have managed to achieve social reintegration, I think that's sufficient to prove its efficacy. What about the one person that didn't, though? What about them? I suppose 3 in 1, fair enough, but yeah, what about, for example, you're testing 90,000 people and then 30,000 people? I don't know, that's like a worst case scenario, but yeah, 3 in 1 would still apply there. 60,000 people obviously would be successfully treated, but 30,000 people wouldn't. Like, you can't have that. Yeah. That would be worst case, though. I mean, is it worst case, though? Maybe these test results and obviously the data they've gathered here could be completely unlikely in, you know, the wider scale of things. Like, a sample size isn't representative of the entire population that they would be offering this drug to. Hmm.
私の知り合いの医師も効き目の良さに驚いておりましたし、この調子で今回の臨床データが集まれば、慎重になっている薬事審議会の委員さんもきっと納得してくれますよ。
Other doctors I know were surprised by how effective it was. Yeah, if we assemble the clinical data on this, I'm certain the Pharmaceutical Affairs Council members will be convinced. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. If you get the Pharmaceutical Affairs Council members convinced, then yeah, the people over at, you know, Nomada and Shiba's lot, you know, the Ministry of Health and Welfare people and the Alphabet Project as well, they're going to lose out. Because, yeah, if knowledge about C103 gets out, then before they can actually cash in on it, then, yeah, that's bad.
その残る一人の反応ですか？
Yeah, I wonder the reaction of the remaining one.
そうですね。効き目がないというわけではないのですが、少々気になる症状が見られましたので、服用時の心身状態を確認した上で再度投与を行う予定です。
Right, it's not that it isn't effective, but I have observed some worrisome symptoms, so I plan to re-administer after confirming the psychosomatic state at the time of the illness.
おそらく別の薬との併用で起こった事例だとは思うのですが、場合によってはその臨床結果をアラートとして製薬会社に提出させていただきます。
Is it me or this person sounds like Hinanima? I don't know, I'm just kind of getting that vibe. I mean, it can't be Hinanima. Why would it be? Maybe it could be, actually. It's not fully predefined that it's not her. I just think it's really quite unlikely. Because obviously Natsumi lives in Okinomiya. You know, Ibaraki really isn't close. Hmm.
あ、もちろんその資料は正規の臨床データからは除外しておきますので。
Oh, that information will be excluded from the original official clinical data, of course.
いえ、その報告はこの電話ではまだ申し上げられません。
No, I'm sorry, but I can't speak about that report over the phone.
あまりに突発的で、この薬の副作用かどうかも現状では判別しかねますので、もう少しお時間をいただけますか?
Yeah, so that could be a potential side effect. It's still too soon, so it's hard to tell if it's a side effect of the drug at the moment. Could you please give us a little more time?
万一の場合は真っ先に先生にお知らせいたします。
In case of an emergency, I'll notify you immediately.
それでは。
Thanks.
Hmm. 薬の成分的には絶対に起こり得ないはずなんだけど。
Based on the components of the drug, it should be absolutely impossible. You have got to be kidding me. Does this person know a potential side effect of the drug, and yet she's still researching it on people? Wait, hang on a second. Nomida's Nomida herself did actually say that they were doing human clinical trials with the C103 drug.
服用後に幻覚を見る。
What? That is properly weird. What? How can somebody start seeing hallucinations after taking it? Oh my god, okay, this is dangerous. Holy fuck, so people are actually starting to see hallucinations after taking, what was it, the C103 drug? That's insane, that really is. That's bad. That really is fucking bad. Yeah, so I really wonder what's actually going to be the significance of that. Right, new semester and... Oh my fucking god. Right. Ooh, I wonder if this is going to be about Tomoe.
こんな晴れやかな気分で空を見上げたのは何年ぶりかな。
That is seriously weird about the whole hallucination related thing. I'm actually quite surprised that we haven't, seen Natsumi having more hallucinations because, when she went into a terminal state of Hinamizawa syndrome, we never saw any of the hallucinations actually, that the drug could potentially have caused manifesting in, her head. Weird. How many years has it been since I looked up at the sky in such a tearful mood? That must genuinely be so weird though. I mean, you just have, really quite awful feelings for so long, and yet, yeah, here you have, just an ability to see the world in such a new light just because of a pharmaceutical. It's so weird. I took a deep breath that filled my chest as I gazed up at the bright blue sky. Yeah, the warm air had a sweet scent to it. It really was refreshing and very comfortable. Yeah. Lovely springtime weather. Oh, springtime weather's great, yeah. Spring is actually, to be honest, I don't really think it's better than autumn or spring. No, spring because autumn's, the subsiding effects of summer. Fucking hate summer. Yeah, spring's better because it's winter time. But, just a little bit hotter. It's like it was celebrating my new life. Or maybe that's exaggerating a little. I mean, it is a really new beginning, but at the same time, I don't really think you'd be able to call it a new life. Nah. Alright, this is fine. Yeah. As I walked out the door and headed down the road towards the school, I put a hand on my chest to check my heartbeat. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I found that really quite interesting. She probably would have felt, her heart rate severely beating out of control beforehand just because of, the problems she actually had with her brain. That must be so awful living with, what she had to live with before. It wasn't beating out of control and I didn't feel any chills or cold sweats. My heart was very calm. Yeah, I always felt anxious and dizzy anytime I stepped outside. God, but now I didn't feel any of that heaviness or suffocation. Suffocation, Jesus Christ. My shoulders, my feet, and my whole body felt as light as a feather. Yeah, that's really good. Nobody deserves to think that. Huh? By any chance is that girl? Yeah, that's right. But there's no way. Wait, hang on a second, what are they talking about? Oh god, are they gossipers? I passed by some other kids in uniforms along the way, and shortly afterwards I felt their skin-piercing gaze and the whispers of their voices. Oh god. Oh no, what is this? Just a little while ago, that sort of noise brought me unbearable pain. Oh yeah, that is understandable, yeah. I can't bear having people, talking about me behind my back as well. It's relatable, but, obviously it would have been worse for her because I'd assume that her brain being, not perfect has just made it so that all the methods you would usually have for coping with stressful situations like this would obviously be completely flushed down the toilet, for lack of a better, way of describing it. My heart started beating intensely whenever I felt them staring, and chills ran through my body with every... Oh, God. God, that must be so weird. Yeah. I think about the rumours spreading about me, and a huge amount of sweat would come pouring down my face and flowing down my back. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck, that's bad. My God. Then I started feeling dizzy until I fainted. So I couldn't go walking around outside by myself. Yeah! Oh my god, I didn't like talking to people or seeing their faces. Yeah, understandable, yeah. But no, I didn't feel that at all. That is just weird. That really is. I mean, obviously, I think it is wrong that her life has been so easily changed for such a significant thing. But at the same time, I think it's wrong that she's, I think it's wrong, like, that second thing, just because it defies the laws of what, what one should actually have to go through to be able to, live the life they want to. Like, I always view problems as, like, you need to improve them yourself. But at the same time, I think that logic is completely thrown out of the window in this case, just because it's something she can't really control, you know, her brain. It's wrong that, you know, this supernatural change is just, this change that feels like a supernatural has just happened. But at the same time, it's also wrong that she's actually had, you know, these horrible brain-related things in the first place. So, yeah, 2 wrongs make a right. That's what they always say. God. Somehow I felt like I was dreaming. It was like I was walking somewhere unreal, and I could just ignore the things I don't like as if they weren't there at all. It is just genuinely weird though. I mean, it must be so odd just having lived with this state for your entire life, and then just one day, boom, it's suddenly changed. Unpleasant sight, sounds, and other senses. That obnoxious garbage was just a faint spectre, and my world was only made up of the things that were beneficial for me.
So, 気にしない。
Yeah, there's nothing to worry
考え
about.
すぎなければいいんだ。
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you're fine as long as you don't overthink it. And I bet you rationality like that she wouldn't have been able to have had beforehand. The people around me weren't focusing their attention on me in particular. Oh, and even when they did look at me, I didn't care because they were just part of the background. Yeah, yes, they were like stones on the side of the road. Yeah, that's a really quite funny way to look at it. Yeah, they don't matter whatsoever. I mean, obviously, unlike stones, you can't step on these people, but like still, like weeds growing quietly in the shade. Yeah, that's interesting. And that's actually quite an interesting analogy, because obviously if you were in a plant garden, I mean, they would grow quietly, but they would manifest and they would be a bloody inconvenience in the long run. If they don't say anything, it's like they're not there at all. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, fair. Yeah. Thinking about it like that, it's fine. And thanks to the power of the medicine the doctor gave me, I was able to tell my way of thinking around. Now, I find it really quite interesting. I mean, she is so lucky this is the case. Yeah. The doctor was never mentioning any of the risks of the potential treatment to her, but at the same time, I don't think that they knew of them at the time, but I don't know. No, I think that's very unlikely. I mean, this was only 2 months ago. But to be fair, C-103 is new. It all depends on when that, you know, one unsuccessful patient was tested. Maybe Natami was tested before the unpleasant patient. That was literally what I was about to say. I mean, unsuccessful patient. Yeah, and I found it really quite interesting, a laugh like that. I mean, it doesn't sound insane whatsoever, it's just pure happiness. That's right. Is it me, or I see a slight red tint to this? Weird. What? It was just this. It was the same with that incident that resulted in me in holding myself up at home. If I just dealt with everything like I am now, I would have never played out. It would have never played out that way. Oh god, so I'm assuming holding, you know, herself up at home, that means obviously skipping school for a lot of time. Yeah, it's probably just something that happened over there. God, that really is unbelievable though. I mean, I couldn't imagine just every time I see, you know, somebody being a dick or somebody, you know, doing stuff like that behind my back, you know, getting so much stress for it that I feel like I'm gonna faint. And, you know, just having sweat, having, what was it? Sweat, dizziness. Really quite unpleasant things. Yeah, sweat, dizzy, and then fainting. Yeah, god. Even though they came at me with scissors, if I had ignored it, they would have lost interest and left me alone. Now that's interesting, yeah. So, Yeah, so that was the actual incident that we're talking about. Yeah, it's actually really quite interesting that. So she's literally, you know, stabbed somebody in the arm with the scissors. Just because of, you know, them actually lashing out on her, I'd assume. Yeah, I mean, genuinely, what did they do to her? Yes, as long as you don't get involved with others, nothing will ever happen. Oh. You don't have to worry about anything. And I'm sure the other kids feel the same way. Even the kid who teased me with the scissors. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, God, he's definitely suffered from that. Her ways of dealing with things now, thanks to these pharmaceuticals, they are really good. I agree. Even the kid who got hurt. Yeah, interesting that. The classmates were silently watching all around the teacher. Everyone. They preferred to pretend nothing happened at all for their own reasons. So I decided I'd pretend it never happened either. Yeah, that's interesting. But at the same time, I think even though this, you know, this is a really good thing to do, obviously. You know, a bad thing has happened, so obviously forget about it. But at the same time, I find it really quite interesting. She doesn't feel any guilt for this, by the way. But anyway, yeah, my initial point was, yeah, she may have, but what about the other people? That's okay. That should be fine. Interesting that everything's getting a lot more red. I'm sure of it. Oh, you know, that being the last line, that's just so not going to be the case. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, why is everything, you know, having a little bit of a red tint? I wonder. Right, so incident report 1 is our next fragment. Fragment 30. 30? Fucking hell. Right, incident report 1. Yeah, we got the green books here. Which book colour do you guys think looks the best, by the way? I think this doesn't look the best. Neither does this. Nah, I think this one works the best. Right, incident report 1. What's this going to be? It's definitely going to be some sort of police-related thing. Ooh, now this is going to be interesting. Oh wait, hang on a second. So this is the one where, you know, Natsume had actually... Oh god, I've been reading this in a total disjointed order. But yeah, this is the one where Natsume actually attacked somebody with the scissors. Right, I wonder what's actually happened. I'm happy they've provided the full context for this because I really have wanted to know. Incident report 1: female student indiscriminate assault incident. Oh. Well, it's a good thing that I'm reading it. This document contains confidential information and is to not be disclosed with the public. Occurrence: April blank 1982. Location: Ibaraki Prefecture. Oh! Right! Wait, hang on a second. Is this Nena? Ibaraki Prefecture. Something city. Something junior high. Oh. Interesting. A local resident submitted a report to Ibaraki Prefectural Police's HQ's Communications Centre, stating that they had heard students screaming and the sound of something breaking on the premises of junior high. As a result, Something Station dispatched 2 officers from the Something City, Something Local Police Box, who were the closest to the scene of the incident. I find it interesting, all of these blanked things, they're probably just, you know, we can't see the names, they're confidential. When one of them arrived on the scene, they were guided by a student to a hallway on the first floor of the school building. Oh, yeah, so now we're going to get some context with Rena. This isn't the context about Natsume, this is Rena. Right. I discovered a female student, A, who was being pinned down by 3 PE teachers near the doorway, due to the presence of a bloody bat on the floor. Yeah, beside the subject. And police officers concluded that violent assault would occur and decided to arrest the offender immediately. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a really, you know, good move to do. What? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, yeah, interesting, because obviously they would have made an arrest with no idea about what's actually happened with Denno. I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, what was being discussed in Toki Higuchi, just such a sudden change. It's too sudden to be real. Well, it is real, but, yeah, to not have been caused by drugs. God, it really is horrible just to, you know, think how fucking... I mean, I can't imagine being in a, you know, situation like this. I mean, literally hearing people screaming right next to you. Like, God, could you imagine just, I don't know, for example, having, I don't know, what's a really shit lesson? Biology. And then just hearing stuff like that. Like, you have a bad lesson and then you just hear, you know, basically nightmare material. A nightmare in real life, really. Or even a really good lesson. A really good lesson may be worse. Oh yeah, I forgot they had police boxes here. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh god. You really know shit is serious if they're literally having to be pinned down by PE teachers. I mean, fucking hell. Additionally, another police officer was guided by a female student named to the back of a storehouse near the pool with 3... Oh my god. Fucking hell. Where 3 male students were discovered writhing in agony with bloody wounds on their heads. Fucking hell. Oh my god. That really is bad. God, poor people. Yeah, and isn't it worse to think that, you know, some of these people are her friends, or her previous friends at least. The officer determined that they had suffered dangerous levels of blood loss, so they used their radio to call in an ambulance and the students were transported to the nearby hospital. After that, the 2 officers engaged in a discussion with the teachers in the health room, where they argued about the negative impact an arrest can have on a minor, so the officers abandoned plans to arrest the offender. Yeah, interesting that. Student A was handed off to the station's youth department. Head investigator for arbitration. Hang on a second, wouldn't that be Tomoe? Jesus Christ. It's actually really quite interesting they were in such a weird location. I mean, obviously then I would have been in the school hall. I mean, we've literally seen footage of, you know, her doing her attack in the school hall. If I remember correctly, the footage in Onikakushi was actually taking place, you know, on a floor that was up high. It wasn't the ground floor. I'm just quite surprised that they're there, you know, in a storehouse near the swimming pool. Maybe it's inside the swimming pool. That'd be the logical conclusion. Jesus Christ. Bloody wounds on their heads, though. I mean, that is bad. There were 5 victims in total, in addition to the 3 boys who were seriously injured. 1 female student and 1 PE teacher suffered mild. Oh God. God, that really is awful. Oh. Student A refused to make any statement while being questioned by the youth department investigator. Interesting, that. Yeah. In addition to questions about the incident, she even kept quiet on topics of mundane small talk. Hang on a second. We're then our small student A, right? Yeah. Yeah, furthermore, student A's medical history revealed that she had been visiting a psychiatrist since a year ago. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. In response to that, student A was transferred to the Something General Hospital Psychiatry Department. Based on the counselling physician's diagnosis of student A is in an imbalanced mental state, the youth division decided to take a wait-and-see approach rather than sending her for prosecution. Well, God, I think they've definitely got their, oh, wait, hang on a second, I'm being stupid. Yeah, I thought when it said that, I hadn't really grasped what it was saying. I thought it was saying, like, we'll wait and see. We'll see if any effects of an NR's mental state actually appear, and then we'll use that to determine which medicine we need to give. But no. What was I thinking? This information was deemed sensitive by the request of the Ministry of Education. God, that really is high. Yeah, and the National Police Agency's public relations office has determined that it will not be released to the mass media. Oh, that's really good. That is actually really quite good. I mean, obviously, moving to Hinamizawa probably would have been perfect for that. No, but at the same time, I think if this was released to the mass media, her life would have been ruined easily. And yeah. The cause and motive for this incident is still unknown. The counselling physician suggested that it may be due to stress and... Oh, God. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think, knowing what's actually happened to Nena, I think probably... Addendum, by the way, what a weird word. But, yeah. Family life, Hinamizawa syndrome, and just, her life getting worse and worse, and obviously the itching driving her mad as well. But no confirmation was ever obtained. This is actually really quite interesting though. The only reason she wasn't actually sent to jail for this was because obviously she was a minor. And I'm actually really quite surprised about this because, just thinking about if she was actually sent to jail, well, let's say, so she would have died of the syndrome if she was sent to jail, and if it was released to the mass media, boom, her life would have been ruined. There would be no place she could go to without, obviously being recognised, feared, stuff like that. Not everybody is going to know, but there's just going to be one person in one place that knows, and obviously somebody that could... Ooh. Also, it was found something, yeah. Wait, hang on a second, why are there 4 letters? It's 5. Renena. And then what, Renena and the male students were talking about before the incident occurred. According to the testimony of a female student, something. I mean, it's not obviously Nagisa. Aki. That could be a name. I don't know, that's the only Japanese name I know with 3 characters. They were discussing performances for the school's cultural festival in a few months. What? That is so fucking weird. How can they have such an innocent and, you know, fun conversation as this? And then this happens? What? That is so weird. The planned performance was setting up a haunted house influenced by ghost stories from rural town. Oh. Additionally, the most seriously injured of the 3, Something, was to be the leader of the performance, and Student A's friend, Something, was assisting. According to Something, although Student A was enthusiastic about creating the haunted house at first, she became apprehensive when she found out they'd be basing it on real stories, and she pleaded with Something to reconsider. But questioning was something is still ongoing to determine the precise details of the discussion. Now, I found that really quite interesting. I think, yeah, rural village ghost stories or Yasuda or something, it can definitely relate to that. And I think, you know, obviously they would compromise with her faith in her, and they probably just, you know, demean a lot of stuff. But to think that she got this mad over it, I mean, obvious, no, it's not really that surprising considering what's going on in her life. And obviously, you know, the ridiculous effects afterwards. My god, do you remember that story with Vanessa, you know, a red capsule? I still remember it to this day. Just completely drowning her in pharmaceuticals. It's fucking awful. Now, I really wonder where, like, how it actually came to that. I really wonder how, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so I really wonder what's actually fully related to this. What's the next one going to be? Incident report 1. Receipt and ticket. Right. Weird name. Hang on a second, I forgot to... Fragment 27. Right. God, I am fucking tired. I'm gonna have a little bit of a drink before we get on with this. Right. What is this going to be? Ooh. Oh, so it's Nagisa. Right, I wonder what this is actually going to be about. Oh, one of these, please. I noticed the magazine. Ooh, wait, hang on a second. Isn't there something of significance about the magazine? I mean, it's obviously not Yoigoshi, but yeah, obviously where, you know, Otobe reads Arakawa's works, and I think it was thanks to Arakawa's works that Tawada also, you know, found the perfect place to kill, what's his name? Takumi. But it really is quite nuts, Yoigoshi. It's such a good story, but at the same time, it's so different. To be honest, the only reason Yoigoshi has anything to do with Higurashi is because of Mion and, you know, obviously all the characters in Hinamizawa. Like, none of the other characters have anything to do with it. But, yeah, obviously they certainly have that status revoked, like, the more they get into the story. Just because they bear more and more significance, really. I noticed the magazine at the store counter with only 1 copy left, so... Oh, I grabbed it and paid to the cashier. That's lucky, especially if you want to get that magazine. You've got the last copy. Then I put the change and the receipt in my wallet and spread the magazine open while walking toward the ticket gate. Wait, hang on a second. Oh my god. Wait, no. What I was thinking is invalid. I missed buying this month's issue and pretty much gave up on it. I'm so lucky to find it in a place like this. I flipped through the magazine. I always subscribe to as I muttered that to myself and found my favourite special feature page. Ah, they say it's bad manners to read a magazine while walking, but... so I really wonder what this is going to be. God, I could never imagine that, having excitement for a magazine. But I just couldn't wait and had to check it. What's What's the fortune for this week? Oh, thank goodness. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. She's basing her fortunes on magazines that have horoscopes in them. Right. I was filled with anxiety and anticipation as I turned the page, and when I saw what was written in my column of the horoscope, I couldn't help but jump up and cheer. Now, that's interesting. So, I mean, she is a, very good, flower-related person. So, yeah, is this another element of... Oh, the horoscope results show 90% luck. Is this also the week that Dena, does everything? Is it just a coincidence, or am I really that lucky? It's a coincidence! Come on, my good luck charm was actually in my bag right now. Oh, right. I really hope that whenever I die, I will be killed with a good luck charm in my pocket. Or on my, I don't know, neck. Something like that. That'd just be so funny being killed with a good luck charm. I mean, that'd be so contradictory. Like, could you imagine if I just got killed and then my funeral was just like, oh, Rip, this guy died and everything, but like, he was wearing a good luck charm, so... I don't fucking know. How would that make anything better? I hate that I'm putting this so lightly. The contents were a good omen, so somehow my mood started feeling cheerier. Fortune telling may be nothing but nonsense. True. But hearing such a proclamation of good luck right before I'm about to meet... Oh, yeah, understandable. Before I'm about to meet Dana, brought me so much happiness and gave me more and more courage to meet up with her. Interesting, I really wonder if this is after, all the shit has happened. I took a small package out of my bag and gave it a look. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah, reconcile. That's definitely after. Definitely after. It's a present in a cute gift bag for when I meet Dana. Or Dana, even. I brought her to show proof of how much I care about her and want to reconcile with her. I wonder if she'll like it. Oh, she will. She always likes cute things. I wonder if I'll be even able to hand it over to her. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not going to be fully certain if this is going to go right or wrong. Yeah, definite change of mood here. Yeah, fear and anxiety combined with a hint of anger and sorrow made me feel lost and hesitant even at, oh my god, understandable. Holy fuck, I've missed this host. Is it feel this host? Oh, it's great. Yeah, of course. Fear and anxiety, yeah, combined with a hint of anger and sorrow made me feel lost and hesitant even at, yeah, and I do find it really quite interesting that even here, Nagisa would have wanted to reconcile with Dena and just, try and resolve, and try and get Dena to really feel as if she has somebody she can talk to. I mean, she really is a nice person. Yeah, fear and anxiety combined with a hint of anger and sorrow made me feel lost and hesitant even now, trying to drag my feelings down to the darkest depths. But I'm going. Yeah. I definitely will meet Dana. Definitely, yeah. I said that to myself so many times to inspire my timid heart while marching forward one step at a time. Yeah, marching. Yeah, she really just feels as if, the train journey towards Dana's house, it's brave. I wonder how this is actually going to go. It'll be alright. Even the horoscopes... Oh my god. It'll be alright. Even the horoscope said I'd have good luck. Besides, I spoke with Dana on the phone just the other day. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I really wonder if even after, this horrible horrible incident has actually happened, Dana, it seems she's recovered from it. That's just genuinely so surprising because obviously we've seen, the worst things that have happened to Dana. It just doesn't make sense that, if she's in a state as bad as the one that she's actually in, full level 5 Hinamizawa syndrome, it's just really quite surprising to me that she's also able to do this, have a conversation in such a mood that looks happy. Keyword looks, but, still. Oh, I want to meet you again. Yeah, I mean, if she wants to, then yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Yeah, she definitely sounds like, you know, she's really quite confident, and even though she has a lot of fear, yeah, she will still do it. I let out a light shout as I raised my head, then put the magazine in my bag and headed to the ticket gate. If I head to Omaki... Oh yeah, Omaki. That's where she lives now, if I remember correctly. I've heard that name before. Yeah, if I head to Omaki, there's a highway bus that leaves from there. Time to dock Nagisa. Nah. Yeah, it will take just a few hours that way. And then I'll be able to meet Dana and... Yeah, I really wonder... That's actually really quite surprising. It's seriously surprising just how much, you know, how much time she actually has to allocate just to see Dana. So, a few hours has Dana actually moved by this time. I wonder... Huh? Oh. Oh wait, at that moment I noticed the ticket fall from the pocket of the man walking in front of me. Oh, that's a nightmare. Oh, but he didn't seem to notice it, because he kept walking at a steady pace. I hesitated for a moment and then racked and then picked it up. When I caught up right behind him, I braced myself and called out to him.
すみません。
Oh, excuse me.
これ
Did you
落
drop
とし
this?
ましたよ。
ああ、こりゃどうも。
Oh, thanks.
あれ
Oh. The man smiled as he grabbed the ticket, but when he caught a look at my face, he seemed a little surprised. I don't recognise him. Could I have met him somewhere before? Yeah, I wonder. I mean, obviously he has a name in question marks. Could that potentially be a mountain dog? Because obviously every time we've seen a mountain dog beforehand, you know, their names have been in question marks. Oh, I wonder. Huh? What is it?
何か。
Yeah, I really wonder what it could potentially
い
be.
や、ひょっとしてあなたは尾崎渚さん
How
です
the
か
fuck? How does he know that? What? Could it be that you are Ozaki Nagisa-san? Well, yes.
そうですけど。
That must just genuinely be so creepy. Like, you know, seeing somebody obviously helping them in public and then just... They suddenly know your name. Yeah, understandable, yeah. After hearing him say my name, I suddenly braced myself. Yeah, why does this man know my name? Now, that is really quite creepy, yeah.
ああ、すみません。唐突で失礼しました。
Oh, sorry for asking that all of a sudden.
実は私、南井警部の部下でして、
Oh.
あなたにお伝えしたいことがあって、
Oh, interesting.
今からご自宅にお伺いす
No,
る予
because,
定だったん
you
ですよ。
know, Minai obviously would have been working for, you know, everybody there. Yeah, I actually work under Chief Inspector Minai, and there was something I wanted to tell you, so I was planning to visit you at your home. Yeah, because she would have been investigating all of the things related to Kohe and obviously Ibaraki as well. Minai-san?
ということは、
Then are you a
刑事さんで
detective?
すか？
ええ、そうです。
Yes, that's right.
ああ、これ手帳で
Oh,
す。
here's my badge. Oh, so this person is genuine. Yeah.
信用していただけましたか？
You can trust me, alright? Perhaps concerned about the huge crowd of people in this situation, the man very quickly pulled his badge out of his breast pocket and discreetly showed it to me. Oh, yeah, fair enough, yeah. That was definitely the emblem of the police force. Oh, wow, that really is quite a coincidence. So a detective that wanted to ask her questions is now here. I wonder what the questions are, though. Oh, yeah, fair. And it was reassuring to learn that this man knew Minai-san's name, so I lowered my guard and turned to him.
それで、南井さんが私に何か。
So, did Minai-san need something from me?
先日、警部宛てにお電話されましたよね。
You left a message for her the other day, didn't you?
それを聞いた警部の命令で私がお迎えに上がったんです。
When she heard it, she asked me to go pick you up.
要件は直接話したいとのことでしたので、内容はちょっとわからないのですが。
It's definitely inconvenient at this time, but yeah. At least she knows now that Tomoe does actually want to talk with her. So whenever she's down, she needs to do so. She wanted to speak with you directly about something, but I don't know the details.
ミナイさんが私に
Yeah, that is genuinely surprising though, because they would have never known each other beforehand. Here, Minai-san wanted to talk to me. I wasn't sure what to do, so I hesitated to reply. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. I was supposed to get on a bus right after this and head to Hinamizawa today. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be cut short because of this though. I mean, I think she should still have a choice to, do whatever she likes. I mean, yeah, but Minai-san is always so busy, so I'd be sorry to turn her down when she was willing to spare some time for me. Oh yeah, understandable. That's actually quite interesting though. I was under the impression that they didn't know each other before, 1982. But no, they do know each other. Alright. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and if I miss the opportunity, this opportunity, it might be a long ways out until before I can meet her again. Yeah, that's actually really quite interesting. I mean, obviously she would, Minai would make time for Nagisa, but I'm just really quite surprised they know each other at this time. Yeah, it can't be helped. I was actually planning to arrive at the meeting spot early to give myself a time to calm down, but let's take a detour. Plus, Minai-san might be able to give me some good advice ahead of my meeting with Dana. Yeah, no, I found that really quite interesting because this was definitely the case in, 1982. I'm just really quite surprised that, this meeting... Wait, hang on a second, so... Wait, no, I was always under the impression that this had happened the second after everything had happened. No, of course. If I actually piece the events together, of course this would be, like in Tokyo Higurashi, a few months, I think it's 6 months after the incident has actually happened, and, Nagisa seeing Dena for the first time. And yeah, this would actually be supported in, her conversation here. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously a few hours. They go to the same school. Why would it take a few hours? Yeah, that makes sense. That is really interesting. So, the whole reason she actually met with Minai was because of her wanting to talk with her. I'm actually really quite surprised about that. I thought it was, I mean, it wasn't coincidence, but at the same time, I think it's so nice that she's actually, really tried to make this as best for Nagisa as it possibly could be. Oh yeah, fair enough, yeah. And if I do end up running late, maybe they'd even drive me there in a police car. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think it'd be an emergency if that would be the case. They wouldn't waste stuff like that. Understood.
でもこの後出かける予定があるので、その時間まででもよろしいですか?
But I do have plans later, so I can't stay past that time, okay?
はい、結構です。
Yes, that's fine.
ご協力感謝します。それでは。
I appreciate your cooperation. Let's head out then. Yeah, now that is actually really quite interesting, that, so yeah, good luck on the horoscope. And I mean, obviously, Tomoe after that would have given some real signs of confidence to, why am I saying Madoka? What's her name? Nagisa. Yeah, interesting that. So that was everything, like, before the... Incident report 2, fragment 31. Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, it was actually really quite interesting, that. I mean, yeah, so I mean, I don't really know what the point of that was much, but you know, it's just nice to see the feelings of Nagisa. Obviously, you know, seeing just that little bit of information that Tomoe was the person that actually started this, and I think that just really adds to Tomoe's, you know, sense of duty she feels to the people she's investigating, or, you know, the people that she's involved with, because she doesn't really feel as if it's a police relationship, you know, police to suspects, or, you know, people involved. It's like she genuinely feels a sense of duty and care, definitely reflected in, you know, her beginning position, which was a youth police officer, really. Right, incident report 2. I wonder what this is going to be. It's going to be the final thing I can read today. Ooh, wait, hang on a second. What? Incident report 2. Serious and mysterious deaths in Ibaraki/Aichi. Should you ongoing investigation? Some of the investigation is not to be disclosed to the public. What? Wait, hang on a second. What? Oh, wait, hang on a second. So I think first incident is Yusuke, second is Hiranuma, and then the third is Nagisa. That is weird. Location, first incident, Ibaraki Prefecture, hospital psychiatric ward. Yeah, definitely this fully adds up with what I was thinking. Yep, it does. Yeah, so instead of the Nagisa incident being the third one, it's the second one here. IT Prefecture, Omaki City. Yeah, Omaki City, that's where she was actually, you know, ran over. XX National Highway. Third incident, Narita International Airport lobby. Overview, first incident, a patient being treated at the Ibaraki. What the fuck? He's 13? Jesus, that's horrible. My god, I was always thinking that, you know, they were just on the path to leaving college. I thought they were like 16 or something like that, my age. Fucking hell. That's horrible. A patient being treated at the Ibaraki Prefecture General Hospital Psychiatric Ward, Sawamura Kohe, 13, fell from the window of a hospital room and died immediately. Second incident, a resident of Omaki City, Ozaki Nagisa. She's 13 as well, what? I am seriously surprised. She looked and acted, not only looked, but acted so much older than 13. I would have thought, like, at least 15. God, I'm surprised. Was hit by a truck on a national highway and died immediately. Yeah, third incident. Yeah, now that is a more likely age. A passenger planning to board a plane for Macau, Yoko. Wait, is that Macau? I mean, that's not a Japanese name. Macau, Yoko? Yoko is obviously a Japanese name. Where is Yoko? It's a Chinese video platform, apparently. Also, it looks like it's a country. Oh, administered region of China. It's administrative region of China. Right. Going forward, at first glance, these three cases occurred in different locations and seem unrelated. Oh, no, definitely not. However, there were many. That's actually really quite interesting, though. So, the deaths of, you know, these three deaths are all fixed. That's the bad thing. That really is. So, that means, obviously, if it's fixed, it's never going to be prevented. Nagisa is always going to die, and same for Kohe as well. Yeah, and same for Hiranuma, I suppose. However, there were many unusual points in the situation, including the fact that the patient, his friend, who he was allegedly dating, and the nurse in charge of his hospitalization all died within a month. Yeah, interesting. This is definitely before they've actually, you know, Honjo's lot have actually solved the case. I wonder if in this fragment they do solve the case or not. Or maybe they don't. Yeah, but that's interesting though. Connecting the fragments, just because they've been connected, doesn't mean everything's going to be, you know, sweet. God, that really is tragic though. Definitely, yeah. And furthermore, the autopsy of Hirano Yoko's body. Wait, hang on a second. Oh my god, I'm so fucking dumb. Yoko is a name. God. I'm just so not used to seeing like first name and then surname with Japanese names, really. And furthermore, the autopsy of Hinanuma Yoko's body revealed that a certain chemical substance mixed with alcohol was found in her throat and stomach. Now that is interesting, yeah, because if they can investigate this chemical substance, then boom, they are going to get so far. Potentially. According to the analysts at the National Research Institute of Police Science, even though it was impossible to determine the precise identity of the drug, some of the components in it did have psychological effects. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I think that is very true. Yeah, a joint investigation team has been formed, consisting of the National Police Agency, Aichi Prefectural Police HQ, and the National Research Institute of Police Science. And they're currently investigating any potential connection between these incidents. Yeah. Now that is actually going to be really quite interesting, just seeing, you know, what they are actually going to be able to find, especially because now they know that, you know, there was a drug infused with alcohol in there. I wonder if, as a result of that, they're going to be able to, you know, potentially figure a lot out, because they can. They have the potential to. Whether they are going to fulfill it is another question or not. Right, so, yeah, that's going to be everything I want to read today. That's actually really quite cool. We read so much in such a short amount of time. Yeah, it was really quite interesting seeing that. It was very interesting seeing all the whole pharmaceutical related things, and yeah, I really liked, you know, Natsumi. It was also really quite cool just seeing, you know, obviously, you know, just seeing the circumstances before, you know, Nagisa had actually, you know, gone to see Nena, and I was actually quite surprised to learn that, oh, let's get some music on, this is too stale. Yeah, but it was really quite interesting that, thingy. I was just interested in seeing that situation with Tomoe. I wonder what would have happened if, you know, that detective hadn't actually have bumped into Nagisa. Then obviously they would have gone to Hinamizawa, and then, yeah, could you imagine if that could, in theory, made it so that, you know, she wouldn't have died, because maybe as a result of going to the police spies have actually gained information about this, and then they've used that to kill her a few days later. But that would actually, I'll tell you what would support that. I think there probably is a spy working in the police station, because in Kakeboshi I remember there was an information leak, and that was why the people up high, even though the information regarding the investigation was entirely secretive because of the investigators, you know, fully working in, you know, confidential terms, even though that was being leaked. I mean, that definitely shows there was some sort of leaker somewhere. Yeah, I really wonder who it was. And, yeah, I'm really quite excited to read stuff tomorrow. I wonder what we're going to be reading. Let's see the titles of the fragments. So, ooh, real name Tomoe. Drunked boss's true identity. Right, that sounds a little bit odd. Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be. Yeah, so I'm going to stop reading there. And, yeah, so I really wonder what we're going to do next. I hope that we get more insight onto Nena's, you know, the incidents regarding Nena, obviously. I love that story. I mean, that is just such a well done story. I really hope we can get more on it, and also I really hope we can get more on oh yeah, Lowell. I really want to see how they're going to utilize C103, and I wonder, you know, what the significance of it is going to become. Right, I'm going to go to bed now. So yeah, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed.